podcast, and we are here to talk about House of the Dragon episode 3. Guys, I had to bring him back, Last time we had a good conversation. It was a 3-way, myself, the man of terror, Nana, and the first lady of the pod, Latish.
Hello, hello.
Yes. Unfortunately, today, no Nana, so it won't be as hectic and chaotic, but we will still give good gist, and we're going to go into our thoughts of the episode, what we like, what we dislike, and our hopes for the future. So, with that being said, Els, let me ask you, how did you find the episode?
Do you know what? It was like, I really enjoyed it. I thought the cinematography was amazing this episode. Loved it visually. I felt like it gave me some of what I needed, but not everything I needed. Like, I needed somebody to die in this episode, and someone significant, and I felt like they're just dragging it now. Like, by episode 3, I want to see someone of notoriety die. I want to see some sort of strategy or underhandedness that makes someone die, or something unexpected, someone that we're not expecting to go, and I didn't have that. So that kind of ruined it for me a little bit, but I felt like it was a solid episode, and a lot of what happened, I think we needed to happen, but I felt like there were parts where they played it safe.
Okay. I would say that's a fair overview. So, for this episode, I'm in agreement with you. I feel that at episode 3, we should be kind of getting to the point of where the suspense should be up.
Absolutely.
Especially due to the fact that this season has 8 episodes.
I keep forgetting that, Like, in my mind, I'm feeling like it's got 10 or 12. The fact that it's only 8 is now annoying me even more. I just remembered that. Now I'm annoyed. Now I've got to knock it down a bit because, come on. Episode 3 and still nothing. Nah, come on. They can't wait until episode, like the final finale, or even the penultimate episode, to now give us all this action and stuff. No. They need to hurry up. We haven't got time. 8 episodes. No, we haven't got time for it. Come on. Let's see some stuff. Because it's like, if they're going to be jumping like the way they jumped in the first season, and I know they haven't really done that this time, and they've kind of stuck to within what I would say a couple of months of all of that tragedy happening, then fair enough. But I feel like we need something. We get it. We know what's going on. We know where everyone lays, all of that sort of stuff. All right, cool. Let's get to it. Let's see strategy. Let's see killings. Let's see underhand. Let's see it. Come on. That's all I'm at. Yeah, you reminding me.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. I feel that with this, like you said, they haven't jumped as much, and we're seeing it in the span of a couple of months or maybe a year at best, right? And
yeah, push.
With that, this episode, it dragged in certain elements and areas only because, like you've said, it's 8 episodes for the season. Well, on episode 3, the halfway point is going to be the next episode, and I don't want the halfway point to be where now things are moving.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'll only accept that if 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is bam, 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 bam. That's the only way I'll accept it. But I feel like it might be too much, because then we might start thinking like, all right, they're trying to throw so much at us at once. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if they mix up a little bit more, it might have been a bit more digestible. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so for example, obviously you might want to get onto this a little bit later. Like, there were things that happened that they placed so much significance on, and I get, like, from a strategy perspective, they need to show us. But it's like, for example, when Damon went to where the tunnels are, I was like, all right, cool. Arendelle. I'm like, all right, cool. They've made it all mysterious, and it's all burnt out, and it's all dark, and and then they're all sitting at the table. Fine, but I needed to feel like he was in real danger, and I didn't feel that. He sat and ate at the table. I didn't feel that. Like, there was no suspense really. I mean, it was just the most he had was like a dream, because he's now feeling all the guilt. but I needed Damon to be in real danger, because obviously we know that the Greens are coming to that same place to try and take it, and it's like there was nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and just to arc into your point, even if nothing happened with Damon, it should have been the whole suspense aspect of, could something happen to him? Will these people betray him? Is it going to be a case of where they say that they've bent the knee and they've given loyalty to Rhaenyra, but truth be told, are we going to get a little bit of a Red Wedding situation?
Something, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like they tried to kind of throw in a little bit of suspense when they offered him the food and stuff, when he was eating the venison or whatever it was, and then he was like, no, I'm not going to eat it because you could try and poison me. But it was kind of like, why throw that in there for him to just say that he's apprehensive of these people? Like, give us something where they've put food and he's eating it, and then we don't know if he's going to be poisoned or not. Like, do it in that way. Do you know what I mean? Give us something. Like, I think Damon's too big of a character to just waste him in this instance. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't even realize they were Clubfoot people.
Oh, is it? No, I knew they were Clubfoot people, you know, because again, it's Harrenhal, so yeah, the Strongs have always held it, but yeah, it's just been a case of where, because they've been renegated to the back and they haven't really emphasized them enough, so it slips underneath the radar.
Half these people, I'm like, what are you again? Who are you again? Because I forget. I really do. It's like, my mind is still in Game of Thrones, innit? So when you have these random people, I'm like, yeah, who are you again? Oh, whose cousin are you? So yeah, I'll forget. I do forget. Question. So you see the guy, yeah, who, we know where they went into the pub, and he's saying that he is a Targaryen.
Even him.
Who is he?
I don't even know.
Or was he just trying to trick them to, was he just trying to trick the other guy from Dawn so that he can like bump him and get money from him? Or is he actually really a Targaryen?
That's what,
obviously he doesn't look like them, but he could be like a bastard.
Which he said himself. But yeah, with his character, I don't honestly know if he is or if he's just a swindler, because I feel it could be a situation of where they're painting him out to be a swindler and he's using like the Targaryen name, but then you could then find out he's actually been telling the truth the entire time.
Right.
He's just very, very, very lowborn, and he really was just a bastard, and they cast him out and like they don't even care about him. So he was trying to find a way into the whole family and angle his way into it, but
like that Baratheon one from last time. But the thing, you see him, yeah? So you know in episode, I think it was last episode, or maybe it was the first one, I can't remember. But you remember there's a character where they go into a house and there's like a mum and she's making soup for the family and the little daughter is sick.
Yeah.
And the dad, is that him?
No. That's a whole different character, because that guy was the one that was talking to Aegon. He's the blacksmith, where he's like, oh, like we need money, we need coin to make all the armor and stuff.
Yeah, and he comes to Great Hall. Yeah, but I thought that might be similar. You didn't? I don't know. Anyway, they just keep throwing in random characters, and I'm like, who are you? Like, how do you tie into all of this? Well, yeah,
that's true.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just there's no real structure to a lot of it. It's just you're throwing things out there for throwing things' sake. Give me a reason. Do you know what I mean? Why are you here? Why do we need to know you? What is it that you're trying to tell us about these people? Because we ain't got loads of time like they had in Game of Thrones. Like, literally, you're giving us 8 episodes every 5 years. We need it now. We need it.
No, it's true. And even in regards to the characters that they're putting in here, again, I get that they're trying to make the world vast and show different characters. But yeah, I feel because of the pacing of the show, which is not like Game of Thrones, where Game of Thrones, especially the first 4 seasons, they allowed characters to kind of breathe and grow to where you understand where they're coming from, but then with time you get more of their backstory and you get their motivations. Here, they're just throwing characters in where we don't even know and we don't even care, because sometimes these characters, they're here today, gone tomorrow.
Right.
So you're just thinking to yourself, okay, why was he here? That's just a waste of time.
Yeah, and it's like we don't get to love them enough. Like, even if they were like characters that were there for like a short time, but in that short time you get a feeling, whether you love or hate them, and they're killed in such a way that it still makes an impact. That doesn't happen. What I will say though is I did like in the beginning when you have the two families that are like century old feuds.
Yeah.
And then you see the whole load of them just laid out. I love that scene. I don't know, there's something about it I love.
Yeah, you know what? That scene was interesting to me because when I first saw it, I thought to myself, oh, what? You're never going to show me the battle. But
yeah.
The more it panned out and the more bodies I saw, I started to think to myself, oh, you know what? This scene is quite effective because it kind of shows the ramifications of conflict and war. So it's not giving you the glorious aspect of like the grand battle. It's giving you the aftermath where all that's left is death.
Yeah.
And so
cow and the meals all burn, and I love that. I love that scene. Like the visually, I thought it was stunning.
Yeah.
That particular, definitely stunning for me. But yeah, it's true. And that's the fact of it. The fact of it is that all it is collateral damage time after time after time, because essentially you got these rich people up in these high, or rich, whatever they're called, up in these high castles making all these decisions, and then the little people just die. And it could be something as silly as I felt in a bad mood today. So guess what? Your whole family is getting wiped out. It's crazy.
No, that's true. And it harkens back to what that woman, Eamon's whore. I don't even know her name, but that's what she is.
She looks like a Helen. I don't know why.
I know. You know what? Yeah, she does. She does look like a Helen. So we're gonna call her Helen from now on. But it's like what Helen told him, that when princes have a bad day, it's the common folk that end up suffering.
Yeah.
And so this was an echo of what's to come, especially when you look at the conversation between Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, where they were talking about try and avoid war at all costs, because if we go to war, it will be a bloodbath like no other. And if we add dragons to it, woo, this is going to be off the scale. And so to see that small display of, okay, and the crazy part is, that wasn't even like a war that was sanctioned. That wasn't even a battle between Rhaenyra.
You their families.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, this is our land. Shut up.
Yeah.
You're backing. I'm telling you. They were just like, nah. As soon as that man just said, you're
it's on site. I see you. That's it.
I know, like, what? Because you moved the bricks. you got your cows grazed from my grass. All right then. They threw in two twos about, oh, you follow the usurper. The other one was like, no, you're out here following that baby killer. They're like, bun that, man. Draw your sword. We're outside.
And do you know what it is as well? It's like the ignorance of youth as well, because as much as they probably wanted to kill each other for centuries, the elders in their clans probably know that it's not worth it, innit? As much as we want to kill you, it's not worth it. But these two little knuckleheads go on a little patch of grass, start fighting, that's it. Everyone's left to die now.
Yep. It was a snowball effect. And again, century-old feud reignited, a whole bunch of people dead. So for this episode, how did you feel about the main characters?
Okay, so Aemon, we know what he is and how very much how I feel about him and his complete idiocracy. So I won't even get into him. But I felt like a scene I loved between Alicent and Rhaenyra. I loved how they done that scene with them, you know, when they're in the church bit and they're praying.
Yeah.
Like candles. And when you saw, I thought it was so well acted, like when you saw the realization in both of them, because you kind of saw how Rhaenyra, although she knew what her dad wanted and had said to her since she was born, there's still a level of doubt in her that has not shown anyone until that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like, okay, like I know my dad said this, but I don't really know my dad said this. So I'm fighting this thing, but there's always a left at the back of my mind. I'm always thinking, shit, what if he did? And then when Alicent confirms it and she starts to cry, and then it goes from shit, like I could have been wrong, to Rod didn't even say anything, didn't even think of me when he died. And then it's more than that. And then it's like more than I just want to be queen. It's like, this is my dad. I loved him. He's no longer here. I just want to live out his legacy. And also for Alison as well, as much as I hate her and I cannot stand her, I felt it was so poignant because even for me, I felt like, you know what? This woman, as much as I think she's a bitch, I don't even know if you can swear on her, she, believed that is actually what happened. Like, I thought, like, I always knew she kind of believed it, but I just felt that she was just going on blind ignorance and she was just using an excuse, which I do think part of it was an excuse just to you know what I mean, to have her son be king. But in that moment was the one time I saw where it was like, no, actually, no, he did. He said it. And when she realized he didn't, and it was just the song of, was it Fire of Ice or a Dance of Fire of Ice?
A song of Ice and Fire.
Ice and Fire, that's it. The vulnerability in her, I thought was so well portrayed because they didn't even have to say anything. It was just their faces. And it was like, yeah, shit, I made a mistake. And I can't even go back on it now because so many people have died. My son, it will look like an idiot. And they probably, I don't know what they'll do to him, probably kill him because what's the point? And he's not going to back down since I'll lose all my family. I'll lose my standing. My father's gone somewhere, so I don't even have anyone to protect me. Yeah, that scene there, loved.
Yeah, definitely. I have to agree. I feel, again, when it comes to the show, actually, let me not even lie. The 4 people that will always carry it emotionally when they're given free reign will be Rhaenyra, Alison, Damon, and the one who's actually growing on me in terms of the range he's showing is Aegon II. Because in that scene when Alison and Rhaenyra are literally talking, and like you said, she honestly believed, because she didn't know about the prophecy, that when he said Aegon, he meant her son. And a part of her always wanted her son to become king. So the moment she heard him say Aegon, the prince that was promised, that was a confirmation for her, thinking, oh, okay, cool. I know you love Rhaenyra, but the truth of the matter is, you need a son to become king. You need a son to inherit the throne. And I gave you that. And because of your love for Rhaenyra, you didn't change your will when you should have. But in your last moments, you were running with it. And with Rhaenyra, before the confirmation, she was really like on the fence of saying to herself, like, you know what, again, I know my dad loved me. I know he just wanted to protect me. But at the same time, he also always wanted a son. And because he now had the son, and you're claiming that he said that Aegon should rule, but because he never said that to anybody else, I'm just going off the last thing that he said publicly. And publicly, I was named heir. But I'm not sure myself.
Yeah.
But that moment when he's just like, what did he say? He's like, Aegon, the prince that was promised. So just like, well, those his exact words. Like, yeah. So he told you about the Song of Ice and Fire. And she was dumbfounded. Like, what? She was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Honestly, like, you know what? Yeah. It really got me pissed if you heard her, innit? But the thing that is also quite a thing is that, like, she has been raised to do nothing else but bear and heir. That's it. So even for her, it's like there's a level of selfishness as well, because it's like, I fulfilled my purpose.
Yeah.
I gave you the heir.
Yeah.
He is now king. I am now, because what else was she going to be? Her dad never had nothing else for her inside. Once he was the hand of the king, that was it. He was like, yeah. And you could be 5 years old, you're going to marry this man. And you will be queen. Do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, that must have been a crushing moment for her. And that was the one time I felt like, oh, you know what? I feel for you. Loved Rhaenyra's face at the end, because I thought, yeah, come on now. See if episode 4 they don't bring it, because now she knows. It's not even a maybe. It's not a, oh my God. It's not a, listen, that's it.
Exactly.
Everyone has to die now.
And like you said, when she looked into the flame and she had that small smirk, and she was just like, yeah, this really is my thing. Because the funny thing is, even with that was what he called her. Because when they were having the conversation about the dagger and the prophecy, he even said that in Old Valyrian, the prince that was promised doesn't technically mean prince. It could mean prince or princess. And I believe, it's when he showed her the dagger when he heated it up and he showed her the writing on it. Yeah, and he was like, again, the prophecy, it doesn't, in Old Valerian, the prince translates into prince or princess. It has no gender. So he believed that Rhaenyra would be the prince that is promised, or the princess that is promised. And so that was a conversation which they had. And that's the reason why he said that he wouldn't give it to Daemon, because Daemon doesn't possess, in his eyes, the qualities to unite the realm. He will divide it and cause more war. So when she looked into that flame, I said, yeah, I see the fire in your eyes, girl. It's time. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's time. It's time to put your swagger on.
I'm to party. Let's go, Rhaenyra. Let's go. Oh, I can't wait. Listen, if they disappoint me next episode, honestly, because come on now.
Yeah,
like, she's done the cautious thing. Like when she said to Baelor, is it Baelor? Yeah, the black Targaryen. Don't like fly high. Don't engage. Whatever. So obviously, you know, she had to scare them a little bit, whatever. But done the cautious stuff now.
You know what? That's even a nice segue, because I can't lie to you. I was pissed off at her.
See, I wasn't.
No, because I was, and here's the reason why. Yeah, I get, like, she was told, do not engage. I'm cool with that. You know what? The moment she decided to break protocol and fly bare low and chase them into that forest, I'm like, cool. You've clocked that this is flipping
Christian Cole.
Yeah, this Christian Cole, yeah. Burn the forest. Like, burn it. Burn part of it so you have to run out. Do something. Like, you've already exposed yourself. It's different if she kept flying above and they spotted her, because, like Christian said, it's open. So he easily saw her dragging in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't avoid that. But if she had stayed up there and still circled and said, you know what, I see some men and they're making their way to Harrenhal, she goes back to Rhaenyra and she reports in and says, they're making their way to Harrenhal, Daemon's gonna be in danger, cool. But the moment she flew down to scare them so they can go into the forest, listen, commit to it. Stop burning some of that forest down. Like, stop.
You know what? No. I thought I liked it because, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, like, she had to go lower just because I think it was curiosity anyway. She wanted to see who they were because she couldn't see so high up. But it's like, there's no point in burning it, because really and truly, like, you know who it is, you know where they're going, you know what it is. Killing them there at that point, why? Scare them a little bit.
No. Remember what we said last time in the Game of Thrones, it's either you play to win or you die. This ain't that. No, it doesn't. No, listen, it don't matter, yeah, because again, potentially, if Christian Cole ends up causing more damage because his plan's able to work, if he's able to gather the Riverlands and create a good enough army to create opposition in the Riverlands to contest Rhaenyra, that's more trouble now later on down the line. Forget that. Burn him now, innit? Like, if you fail, I don't mind you failing, but try. Like, really cook up that place. If he gets away, he got away. But
I think she's itching to, though. She's itching to. It's just that she just needs the okay. She just needs to go.
Nah.
Now, Christian, do they know that he's been made the hand?
I don't know, to be honest with you, but again, because they've got...
That might make a difference as well, you know?
Nah, but regardless if he's been made the hand or not, they still know that he's the commander of her armies. So
yeah, the hand has the real power, because the commander is just like, you know, they follow orders, innit? They do what other wars going on, la 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 la. But the hand of the king has got the king's ear.
Yeah.
Pretty much the king's tongue, because they say what goes, and the king then says yeah.
But that's,
you know what I mean?
but that's if the king chooses to listen to him. Because the truth of the matter is, like, let's not forget, right? The king was not supposed to ride out. He was ready to jump on flipping, what's it called again? Go Sunfire. And exactly. and go join him. If it wasn't for old Clubfoot McGee telling him, oh, by the way, there's whispers, people are saying that your mum will rule and your brother are going to be the ones in charge while you're gone, and some people feel like they're the true power. So you can go. I just want to let you know before you went. And again, a master manipulator. I gotta take my hat off to him on that one, because he knows how Eamon is. So he put that little whisper in there. I said, don't worry, sire, I'm gonna go quiet them. But if you wanna go fly off, you go do your thing. I was like, you know what? On second thought, yeah, I don't think today's a good day to fly out. I think I'm gonna go down to the whorehouse.
I just can't wait for someone to DM in. I feel like that might be.
You know what? There's a very good possibility. Because yeah, he's pushing his brother too
I remember
far.
your brother is his brother is probably the one of the only people that is like for him.
Yeah.
Really, apart from his mum, but she ain't gonna really do nothing anyway. But his brother is the only one that's kind of for him, and he doesn't want to make an enemy out of him.
I won't even lie to you. I was going to agree with you until the last episode in terms of saying that, like his mum is for him. Again, I just feel Alison is just trying to keep power in her family. And
yeah, and essentially she's a very selfish woman.
Yeah.
So as whatever works for her, works for her. She only cares about herself anyways. But I think she's still got that motherly thing where, yeah, I know he's a little shit, but he's still my son. Do you know?
Oh yeah, obviously. She doesn't want anything bad to happen to him, but also at the same time, she's trying to manipulate him for her own means and to fulfill her end result. Whereas Eamon, he doesn't have any motive. He doesn't want to manipulate anything. He's not trying to, again, control his brother so that he can get power or be like the second in charge. Man's just like, listen, this is your throne. This is your kingdom. Cool, innit?
Let me just cuddle up with my whore.
Yeah, I mean, like, let me go. Let me cuddle up with Helen and let me burn some things who try to challenge us. That's all I care about. If somebody threatens your throne, just show me where to point the dragon. I'll fly Vega over there. I'll cook him and come back.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he disrupted his safe space, and I feel like, yeah, you've got to watch his back, man. He's doing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was drunk, but he's doing too much right now. I have to apologize to you though, because last episode I was very much of the no. What's her name? The daughter, Alison's daughter. Oh no, she's supposed to be aloof. She is trash. Her character makes no sense. No sense. She's trash. I have to apologize. I'm sorry. What? That woman has lost her son.
See, I told you.
I feel like I missed the series, but what? Nah.
See,
get rid of her, man. She could die.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you. Again, that's why I said that she, to me, is one of the worst characters, especially in terms of being the emotional anchor to certain situations that we don't care about. Because the funny thing is, something which I even forgot, you know, when they first introduced the twins, right? And when Aegon was looking for the son, we don't even hear the daughter's name.
No.
She doesn't even mention her daughter's name, but she mentions the son, and she even knows his hobbies and interests, to where she was like, oh, he's in the library. And it's like, oh, like, I want him to come to sit in court because he's going to be king one day. And she's like, no, you can't disturb him because he's very particular, and you know that. I'm just like, wait a minute, man. It's not even like you don't care about this kid. Like, you know more about him than you know about your daughter.
Well, it's her son. Do you know what? I don't feel like she knows more about him than his daughter, than the daughter. I feel like obviously more of a fuss is made over him because he's supposed to be the quote-unquote heir. But I just still feel like this is not a woman who has lost her children. And the thing is that makes it even worse is that, like, she's just nothing. She's not so aloof that it's scary. She's not so distraught that it's scary. She is nothing. She's just like, yeah.
Placid.
I feel like I miss him.
I'm just she's
Alison has got way more emotion, and we get why, because she's guilty, but still, like, come on.
What?
I don't know whether it's just that she isn't a good actress and therefore she's letting the side down, or what's going on here, but I'm not resonating with her at all, and I just think, no, like, come on.
I feel that it's half and half. I feel that she's not that good of an actress, and as well, what they've given her isn't the best to work with. But then again, I feel like if she was a better actress, even if she hasn't been given a lot, she would still find a way to make it work to where, like, she has nuance, or like she just, I don't know, because
Yeah, man. Like, I know she might be directed in a certain way, but still, come on. Especially because there's a real emphasis, especially this season, on, well, all of it really, but particularly now on like the women of the court, the women of royalty, how women's decisions are different from men's in terms of war, etc., etc. Where like Rhaenys is always telling Rhaenyra, like, do you know what I mean? Men are just gonna go out there and shoot up the place. Let's say swing the sword around the face, and like we'll have more emotion, we'll think about things, etc. Which is probably true in a lot of senses. But like she doesn't. Where does she fit in this narrative? Even the prostitute, like she's nuanced. Like, do you know what I mean? There's levels to her. She's you don't quite know if we can trust her. That's a good swagger as well. Are we trusting her or not?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm on the fence, you know. I feel like she might stay there.
Exactly. And again, she's a character that she doesn't have that much, but in the small that she's given, she's able to give you like just little things where you're like, like there's moments where you can tell that she's been reserved, but she has more emotion than she's willing to show.
Right.
And it's all just done through facial expressions or just like body language. And you're like, okay.
Right. You can tell she's pulling from her previous experiences, her trauma, everything. Like, she's just got so much going on, and that you're like, all right, cool. To the point where now I'm not even sure if we're trusting her or not. And even though they've made it clear that she did come back to warn them, but wasn't believed, although I do think they should have shown us that. I don't know why they cut them.
They should have shown us that. And again, that's the one thing which I found weird, because Rhaenyra even said, oh, thank you for coming back and for saving me. I'm like, what do you mean saving you? Because the truth of the matter is, it's the twin that burst into that room because like he knew his brother was there. But he had a feeling his brother was there from the moment the brother entered.
Yeah, something was strange. But I reckon what's happened is that and this is why I feel like whoever's editing the show, whatever they're doing, writing a screenplay, is not thinking properly, because clearly what's happened is
she told them, they didn't believe her, and then somebody else must have went to check, and that's when they bust in the room. But then I'm thinking, well, hold on, maybe not. Maybe it was they didn't believe her, but then when the servant girl ran out, then they thought, oh shit, she is telling the truth. Yeah.
They needed to clarify this, because what happened? So, because Rhaenyra didn't say thank you for trying, she said thank you for saving.
Exactly.
Like,
so, yeah, at some point...
No, they didn't believe me. So it's like, well, and then how did you end up there? Because you were getting on the boat. Even if you turn back, why are you still here? And there's so many unanswered questions, and it's like, these things are not things that would have taken up a lot of time. All you needed to see was like a clip of her talking, or
it's true,
or he was shouting, that's him, or something.
Nah, you know what? Because all they could have easily done was when the twin was walking around, right?
Yes.
Eric.
So long.
Yeah. Like when I'm talking about the good twin, when Eric is doing like his rounds, she should have run back to the castle and bumped into him and like been like, is it you? And he's like, what do you mean? Is it me? And then he realizes, and then that's what makes him run back to Princess Rhaenyra, or sorry, Queen Rhaenyra. And he busts through the door and he's like, brother! And he makes it in time. They should have just, again, 30 seconds of him having a quick encounter with that same woman in a hallway where she's just like, is it you, Eric? And he's just like, yeah, it would have been literally 10 seconds. Like, is it you, Eric? And he's like, what do you mean, is it me? And then the realization, then again, it's a case of where, will he make it in time?
Yeah.
And because we knew that the other twin locked the door to the easier access, he can, like, again, it's a case of raw. He might not make it because that door's locked. He might have to go the long way around. And so when he finally breaks through the door, you're like, oh, man made it just in the nick of time. Then you have their entire scene play out as normal. And it's cool. But yeah, the editing choice to remove that, but then you still keep Rhaenyra saying, thank you for saving my life. I'm like, she didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
She honestly didn't do nothing. But apparently she did, to where she can request to be in your court. And you're like, all right, cool. Be in my court.
Which I think is a bit of a bold move, because it's like, let's be real here. You are a prostitute who was just a prisoner. I get you. Yeah, thanks for helping and all that, but I'm not going to put you in my court.
Yeah, even though...
Way above your station. Like, what?
even though she's meant to be the queen of whispers and lies. So again, she's valuable in that sense. Like, yeah, you're able to get me information and you've got connects, especially in King's Landing and in other places. Cool. But for you to be in the court, that's a high jump. Like, you ain't even lowborn, boy. You slum dogging it right now.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I think that was unrealistic. That wasn't happen.
Yeah.
She just has to be like the little one, you know what I mean? She gives her a few shekels here and there for a few things, and that's that. We make sure you're good, you're fed, you're whatever, but in the actual cup, you cannot, and you do not have a seat at the table.
100%. I think at best, what she should have done would have been, you know what? You're going to be my person of lies, sorry.
Right.
So I won't give you a seat at the table, but as long as you're in my service, you will be treated with respect, something that you were never given. And she's like, okay, cool. And then as the season progresses, if she proves herself even more, there might be a scene where she'd be like, oh, I'm surrounded by men who are very easily swayed by bloodlust, and they're no cool heads. The only person that gave me good and sound advice was my master of spies. And because of that, she's now going to be an advisor. And everyone's like, wait a minute.
Right.
That's a bad move.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, but
what?
That's what.
And look, Rhaenyra's not that silly. She's very much a calculated person. So for her to be like, yeah, cool, you can be on it is silly.
But again,
kind of rush.
Yeah, it's down to the writing, and that's kind of something which ties into, I would say, the negative of the season and the episode. It's things are being rushed and not enough development, because even with how Rhaenyra was able to get to King's Landing and sneak into the capital, that was done so quick.
Honestly. And also it's like, all they showed was her on a boat and then at King's Landing, and it's like, where again, that's the theme of the show. There's no intensity, there's no anxiety, there's no fear, and there's no danger.
Yeah.
Because I did not feel scared for her at any point.
Exactly.
I could be like, oh, don't get me wrong, there was part of her, she was walking through the crowd and I thought, oh, right, they're going to see her. But essentially, no. Like, she's just walking and she's calm. Even when she was sitting there talking to Alison, I didn't feel like, oh my God, what if someone sees her?
Yeah. But to be honest,
she didn't even say to her, follow me to another room. Nothing. She just, and obviously I get they probably couldn't go to another room because then the guards would have probably followed them. But still, it's like nothing. I did not feel one sense of danger. And again, like you're saying, when she sent away her sons, I didn't feel like, oh my God, I have to do this. My sons have to go because they're going to die. Nothing. It was just like, you know what? This might be a good idea. You know what? I can't remember the other girl's name. Layla or something. Please take them. That was it. There was no level of, I'm so frightened that they're going to kill these little boys that I have to send them away.
Yeah, there was none of that. There's no suspense that her kids are in danger and so I need to send them away. Or even in her sending them away, that they could potentially be attacked on the journey.
100%. There wasn't that too. There was none of that.
So
they didn't show us the journey. Right.
Nah, they are not going to show us no journey because, again, nothing's going to happen. So they're just literally just going to be in wherever she sent them to, and they might do a scene of where she writes to them and gives a report on the status so far. But yeah, it was just lacking.
So I was like, okay, cool. We need something for the other sister to do. She's part of it. Everyone's got to play their part in it. All hands on deck. But you're gonna trust her with no experience, no warring experience. She doesn't even have a dragon.
Nope.
Right? Or does she have a dragon? But
nah, because she doesn't have a dragon. She was supposed to get Vhagar.
Oh yes. You are.
She was supposed to get Vhagar, but then
anyway, we won't go down with him. Yeah. So you are gonna send her with them with no protection. Like what? So what? That's it. They just go over there, nothing. Obviously, when they get there, they'll be protected. But on the journey, there was nothing. All you saw was the nannies.
Yeah. And a couple of dragon eggs that ain't hatched yet. And
right.
Even like her character, right, with her being apprehensive or upset. The problem was this hasn't been built up. We haven't seen this girl at all. So when she tells her, "Oh, I need you to go there," and like she's upset, I'm just like, "What are you upset for?" Because we don't even know your character journey. We don't even know like what your ambitions are and why you're upset about all of this. It's just a case of where I can be useful. What skills have you shown? Like,
and the thing is, obviously, we get it. Like, that's where her mother died. Cool, we understand. We get that she's still upset because of, is it Luke that died? Cool, we get it. Because I think she was promised to Luke, right?
yeah, but
She was crying before, etc. But I think what they did well last season, especially with that little section of the family, was show us like who they were. You know, that little scenes, you saw it. Now they've grown up a little bit and they're teenagers. I don't know why. I don't know nothing, like you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, you're upset because your mum died there. You're upset because Luke's dead and they've not done nothing. You ain't got no, and you're still probably vexed that you ain't got no dragon. Or what else? Give us something. Like something. Even if in that scene where she sits and talks to her, if they even went into a little bit more depth about her, or they bonded in another way, like Rhaenyra talks to her very cold.
yeah, she talks to her like the queen and not like she's her aunt / stepmom.
Stepmom. And also, we don't see enough interaction between Damon and...
Bruh, listen, those are not even his kids, because I keep on thinking that they're because Coral's daughters.
Children, yeah.
Honestly,
Actual.
yeah, like that's the problem, because again, like you said, if they at least had an interaction between the sisters, them talking about how they feel about the entire war, even talking about how like they feel about their dad.
I mean, there was that one scene where they did say something like, I don't know what they said. They said something like either they hate him or he's something. They made a one-off comment. I think it was the older sister.
Yeah,
She made a one-off comment about him when he walked past her, because she was like, "Father," and then she just walked past. But my thing is, I get from season 1, he was distant with them because he loved their mum so much, and he just couldn't be around them because it reminded her too much and did him too much and la la la. Cool. You've now moved on, got a whole new woman, 3 more children, all of this other stuff. Like, what is the situation between you and these girls? In it, we need to know.
exactly.
Also, I need more interaction with Rhaenys and Coral and their grandchildren, because again, in season 1, we saw how much they loved them. They were into them, all of that. They was protecting them, la, 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 la. We don't see that. We also don't see, and I know that them boys are not theirs because their dad is, what's his name? Lord Baelon or something. But still, there's no interaction with this. They're a family, you know? You don't really see them interacting.
Yeah, but them strong boys.
Like, they was out here. When Rhaenys is only caring about Coral, just them two against the world. That's it.
Because pretty much. And the funny thing is, I really like the relationship.
I love it. Yeah,
because I like the relationship. I like the fact that this woman actually knows how to cook. That's wild.
I thought that as well, because I thought, wait, hold on, shouldn't it be one of the chefs that are making that?
Yeah, but she came and brought him the fresh bread and the hot stew. I said, this is a good woman, you know. This is a good woman, because she's out there patrolling the air and still got time to bring her hubby lunch.
Trust me, ain't nothing like a good woman. I'm telling you. But yeah, no, they move like the real king and queen.
Yeah.
Even though they haven't got the throne, I love it. Like the way they defend their family, the way they and I'm more so in season 1, because this season you haven't really seen it. But I love how they move. I just love it. Although I'm still upset my man's still alive, but still, I love it.
No, man, they don't.
The only thing I was bringing them down was that brother, and he's gone. So there's that.
Exactly. He was the weakest link, but I did like the fact that he was the cause of tension, and I feel that they should have found a way to carry that tension onwards, because I get it. You had to kill him to kind of make a statement and to show Damon as somebody who's a threat and just irrational and someone who lashes out. Cool. But I swear this man got sons.
I don't know, you know. I don't remember.
Yeah, no. I think he had sons. I just don't think they showed them, because his whole thing was like he wanted Driftmark. Was it Driftwood?
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, but yeah, that place.
But he wanted it to go to him because, again, he's like, he will not allow the bloodline to end. And so if those strong boys take it, that's the Valyrian line done out. He's like, nah, I won't let that happen. So give it to me. And so, again, it wouldn't make sense if he had no kids, because if he takes it, then as soon as he's dead, it's over. So I think he had kids. I just don't think they showed them. So I would have liked that dynamic, like, to carry on to where his children, even though they're quote unquote bend the knee, they could be a potential threat. And so you're still building that suspense. Like, ooh, you could get staked by your own family. But they just kind of just ended it there and there. And then, yeah, now it's season 2, flipping Rhaenys and Coral are just old pensioners. Just
they're just there. But the thing is, I feel like they've lost their daughter. Their son is God knows where, getting his back blown out. I just think that they need to be more in tune with the rest of the family. Obviously, Rhaenys knows why she's there. She knows why she's in the Queen's Court. She ain't really for her like that, but she knows she's family. I've got to do what I've got to do to make sure that we're good. But essentially, they're not involved. They're just doing their own thing.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, what they should be doing, like you mentioned before, I feel like they should be fostering a better relationship with their grandkids.
100%.
And
100%.
they should be trying. They should really be trying to align their kids to inherit Driftmark.
Yeah.
Because, again, even though she won't say it, but then she kind of said it, she was like, you might as well make her your heir. Because let's be real, Joffrey ain't really, he's not really your blood.
Nah.
He's not really your blood. And this is war. So if we're gonna go to one, if we don't make it, we have to have somebody who is our blood, both yours and mine, sitting on the legacy. Whereas, again, Joffrey's Rhaenyra's, that's great, cool. But
so they're still family, but they're not of them.
Yeah, so we need to start putting things in place to where if it goes wrong, our thing is secure. Like, our legacy is intact. And again,
because I mean, obviously she set it up before so that they could get married. Him and what's the girl, Baylor, and that other brother who is no longer, and the girl with the dragon. But I think they need to do more. That's not really going to cut it now, because we don't even know who's going to survive.
Exactly. And I feel that's why before they were okay with the original arrangement of saying, okay, cool, in it, like, Baylor's gonna marry flipping the second son, so technically her child, which is our great-grandchild, will be the heir to Driftmark. So cool, we're still secure. But now that he's gone, it's gonna go to Joffrey, and Joffrey's too young. Like, there's no way he's gonna be able to marry our daughter, like our granddaughter. So if he's not gonna marry our granddaughter, he's gonna marry somebody else. And if he does that, then our line is no longer secure. Like, it won't sit on Driftmark, and we can't have that. Like, we need to make her the heir, make her the one that's gonna inherit it if something goes wrong. So yeah, I felt like, again, that's like another element which they should have played with, and in true Game of Thrones fashion, they would have played with that, because it's always a game of chess.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like do you know what the problem is for me as well? I feel like we've come to a point now where we realise the episodes cannot be 50 minutes to an hour, or even sometimes it's like hour and 5 or something. Like, we need an hour and a half for this book, because it's too much and people will actually watch it. These are supposed to be like mini movies every episode, and you can't do it in an hour. Again, it only works with Game of Thrones because we had so much episodes, so much time, so many series, etc. Like, we've had Game of Thrones, it was what it was. We're now at a point where, give us all you got now. Let this be epic. Let it be 8 episodes of brilliance.
Now, which is true. And again, they have the ability to do that, because the one thing which they know is, due to the popularity of the show and of the series as a whole, people want to watch this.
Yeah.
If the story is good, people will sit down and watch it without any qualms. So they're no longer moving with the fear of, oh, people don't like the show, or people have got the latter part of Game of Thrones in their minds where it failed and it was a disappointment. It's like, actually, no. If you give us good story, we like this world, we'll be fully invested. So it's a case of where it's like, okay, cool. We've got the attention. We've got the fan base. Man, 1 hour, 30 minutes per episode. Turn up. Like, let's really cook.
Yeah.
And like, take it to that next level to where, like you said, every episode, it's a movie. So by the time you're hitting episode 8, you're just like, damn, this has been one wild ride.
Yeah. And then you're like gagging for it for the next 2 years, 3 years that they want to do. I mean, I hope they don't do that this time, and by next year we have another one. But yeah, like, it's like, come on, and give us reasons why you put people in there. Like, for example, this other Hightower son, him, yeah, we know that he's gonna be a little bastard. We can tell. The coward.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be someone that anybody likes. But make us really dislike him. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't make it be like, oh, he does a little sly thing, and he says little sly things. He's a little bit of a coward, so he cries a little bit when the dragon comes. Like, make us really feel like this man is a weasel, so that when he does die, we are rejoicing or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, stop playing it safe with these characters, that they need to really show us who they are from jump.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, even when I watched him, I was like, you know what? This guy is meant to be a weasel. He's meant to be a little bit underhanded. But in my mind, I was thinking to myself, this man would die before he even gets to snake anybody.
Probably. I actually thought he was gonna die in that forest, to be fair. I literally said out, well, he's gonna die.
Yeah, I thought Christian was gonna kill him.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna die too. But when he was in the palace, when Otto and Alistair was in the palace, where was he?
No, because remember, he was the one that was controlling the main house.
No, I meant when he was younger. Where was he? Because I don't remember seeing the other children on Earth. I thought he just had the one daughter.
No. So that's the thing in it. Like, he wasn't raised in King's Landing. He was raised in the Hightower place because, again, he's the heir. So it's like, because thing was the, what's it called again? Because Otto was Hand of the King, similar like to Ned. When Ned became Hand, didn't he? Because Rob had to stay in Winterfell. Yeah, so like, because Rob was the heir of Winterfell, he couldn't leave Winterfell. Like, he had to govern it. It was the same for that, for the son. He would have to stay in the Hightower place and be raised by like the nuns, you know, by the maids and the cooks and like the guards and all that stuff, because he's the heir. Right. But yeah, I just thought to myself, again, another character we're adding, but I know that in this show, he's a weasel, but he will not do anything weaselish before he meets his demise. Whereas in Game of Thrones, this man would have survived long when he should have died. And people that should have lived, he would have snaked and killed.
100%. Or he would have made some dumb move that now means it's a domino effect, and someone that we needed has gone.
Exactly. So that's like the weird space which we find ourselves in. And I also feel as well, the one disservice which this show has done for me personally is they've made the lines too cut and dry.
Yeah.
You already know what team you're on. Like, everyone's on Team Black.
Yeah.
There's no gray area. Whereas, yeah, like Game of Thrones, there was so much gray. The only person who you can say unanimously everyone hated was Cersei. That's it.
Yes.
Like, Cersei,
yeah,
you hated her, but her character was done so well, you understood why she was what she was.
Right, and you got why she had to make her moves. But the thing that I like, and you raised a good point as well, because it's like, everybody hated Cersei. Everyone hated her, everyone hated her son. But because they were Lannisters, and there were people on the Lannisters team that we love, it wasn't difficult, because, you know me, Tyrion was my guy.
Yep.
All day. And I love Jaime.
Exactly.
So it was like, I love these two, but I hate them two. Just like with the Starks. What's their name? The wife. Couldn't stand her.
Oh, what's it called again? Girls, Catelyn.
Catelyn, couldn't stand Catelyn Stark, sorry. Made stupid decisions, felt like she is the reason for all of this. But anyway, we won't go into that. For all of it, right? So hated her, hated the oldest daughter. Sansa, loved Ned, loved Arya, didn't like the brother in the wheelchair. He was just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there were so many different people, even with the what's Rick's family called?
Oh, the Greyjoys.
The Greyjoys. Now there are another nuanced people because the sister was bad man, but I felt her. I've got her.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because his dad was such a bastard.
Right. And then like it's Rick, like he was someone who I didn't see his demise coming because he was just a normal guy rolling around with Jon, blah 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 blah. And the way that this man was reduced to zilch,
man.
Oh my god, I don't think we've ever seen a character like that. That level.
They dropped that man in hell.
Oh my god. Oh, listen, broke his entire soul. That's what it must be like for people, you know, like in American jails when they get raped in prison and stuff.
I can't laugh, but
honestly, I can't, like, that's the only equivalent I can see because this man went from being a nobleman to nothing. But do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with you. I agree. There's not enough nuanced characters. There's not enough grays in between. It's like, yeah, we know that we hate Aegon, we hate Aemon, we hate all of them, we love the blacks. Throw in some and I feel like they tried to do that with Daemon when he killed the little boy, but it didn't have the impact it was supposed to because no one cares.
Yeah,
we're still like, yeah, we're still Team Black.
Yeah,
they needed to make that so bloody and brutal, and they needed to have made it so like, you know what? It probably would have even been better if they made Rhaenyra say, "No, kill all of them and bring all the little children in front of me." That would have probably made some people be like, "Oh, yeah, they did for her son."
Nah, do you know what? Yeah, because again, that would have been too far. But what I feel they could have done, or what they should have done, would have been, you know, like in her grief and in her talking to Daemon, again, she's venting her frustration, and she's like, "I want them all dead for what they took from me." It's like, "I want to see the world burn." And Daemon, being Daemon, is like, "It will be done, my queen." And so he goes and he sanctions that whole situation, and then when he comes back, she's like, "Daemon, I was grieving my son. Like, you should not have done that." And he's just like, "I did what you asked me to do." It's like, "I never asked you to kill no one." It's like, "Oh yes, you did. Like, you wanted revenge, and I got you revenge." It's like, you turned me into a monster. It's like, we're at war. They're like, it's them or us, and you're gonna come a point when you're gonna have to shed their blood regardless. I just quickened it. And so,
but you know, to be honest though, even if she had sanctioned it and she did mean it, it still would have been a nuance because they've killed her son. And in your grief, I don't care who you are. If someone kills your child, you don't care who gets it after that. Do you know what I mean? And people can relate to that. So it's like, even though it is too far and it is a bit dark and they are only children, there's another part of you that would be conflicted because it's like, but they killed your son.
Very true.
And that's the most precious thing to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, yeah, like, it's so, this is what I'm saying about this show, innit? Because you start off with being so positive about it and giving it so much accolades, but the more you break it down, it's like,
yeah, the more you see of what could have been.
Right. Yes, exactly that. Shit. The drama that never was.
You know? Similar to like the queen that never was.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's good though. It's good. I can't ever. I think there's so much trash out there. I think, do you know what it is? I think it's a victim of its own success.
Yeah.
Because we love it so much and because it actually is such brilliant writing, that our expectations are so high that when it doesn't quite reach, when it's not on 100, when it's like 80, we're like, this is not what it could be. Because we know, we've seen it. We've seen 125. You know, what can we do? At the mercy of HBO, innit?
You know, it is what it is. Okay, so that being said, what would you give this episode?
Oh, I think because I know it is intended to be a filler episode, I think I have to give it a 7. I think purely, I'll give it a 7 purely because I think it did. As much as I've said that things are dragging at the same time as they are moving way too fast, I feel like a lot of what happened gave what it needed to give. However, and I feel like for the cinematography was brilliant. Visually, I loved it, but I feel like I needed someone to die. I needed to be shocked because I haven't. And we are the episode before mid-season, and really not much has really gone on. It's like we're just talking whispers, little moves here and there, but nothing significant to drive this war forward. So for that, I think it's fair to give it. Oh, I'll give it a 7. Yeah, for me, that's 7.
Okay. Those are valid points. I do agree with your assessment of the episode. For me, I'm gonna go with a 6, and the reason why I say a 6 is because of, like you said, this being a filler episode. No, this is the second filler episode technically, because episode 2 was a filler and episode 3 is a filler. And for me, I wouldn't mind it being a filler if it's setting pieces in place for something big that's happening. And again, we know that the war is coming, but I don't feel like they're setting enough pieces up for the war that's coming. There should be more happening behind the scenes and more political divides being created and people having ulterior motives. So even though a war is coming, everyone's got different motivations for why they're going to war. Whereas here, it's just a case of, we know we're going to war. This is what the Greens are doing. This is what the Blacks are doing. They have small moments where there could be certain people trying to do something. Case in point, when Rhaenyra's own council, we're trying to get her to take a little sabbatical so that they can run the thing secretly, and then she's just holed up somewhere. I liked that, but again...
That's too brave, though. That's too brave.
Yeah, but...
They're talking too much, and I'm looking at them like, you lot ain't going to last too long because you lot are talking way too much. But remember, she's queen.
Yes, and I feel like, again, that is something that they should have played with in terms of the council members having conversations without her.
Yeah.
And where she's now even walking into certain rooms where they've already met. And now once she walks in, there's like a hush that's falling in, like, oh, she's here, keep quiet. That's got her looking at them a little bit sideways, like, what are you not talking about? What's really going on here? And then
because Rhaenys is already looking at them sideways. She's already clocked the play, and she's like, wait, hold on a minute, like, this is your queen.
Exactly.
Shut your mouth.
She even had to say about how Rhaenyra is wearing the crown of a particular Targaryen that is the wisest and reigned longer than any other Targaryen, including Aegon the Conqueror. But again, that would have held more weight if we're seeing what's happening behind the scenes in the conversations these people are having without Rhaenyra. So again, it's like Rhaenys is the one who is being super vigilant and being like, nah, like, you lot check yourselves, you know. Like,
because they know, really, that she knows it's sexism. That's all it is.
Exactly, like that. Like, they've made it so cut and dry that boom, sexism, but they're doing it so openly
and so
I just felt like, again, for another filler episode, they should have done more to set up pieces on the board that are outside of combat. It should have been more political and like, okay, certain people are trying to, you know, assert their dominance and try to play other characters against each other. So because of that, for me, as a second filler episode before we go into the mid-season, I'm like, nah, it wasn't doing enough.
You know what? I have to change my thing to 6.5 because you raised a good point just then. I actually, if I didn't know they were going to war, I wouldn't know they were going to war.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, you see a few soldiers in King's Landing, but there's always soldiers in King's Landing.
Exactly.
But it's like, it's true. Where is, like, you are around the council, around that big table, I need to see it lit up properly. Like, I need to see you've got these soldiers here. I need to visually see these soldiers here, this here, that here, that here, all the different chess pieces coming together for actual war. Right now, it's like whispers of war. We are at war. There's no if buts or maybes. It's war. You've killed a son. You've killed a son. We're at war. Right now, it feels like, oh, you know what? I might want to go to war, but don't tell them. Are they going to war? That's how it feels. So yeah, I have to take away half a point when I really think about it, because yeah, I don't know where the war is. It doesn't feel like a war. It just feels like Westeros on a regular Saturday. So
yeah, literally, it is just Westeros on a normal Saturday. And even to your point, because something which they did very well is, you know, like when they started like the War of Kings.
Yes.
In Game of Thrones, you know, like how we didn't see a lot of the battles.
No.
We didn't see any of the battles. Like what we saw was the politicalness of the war and how people are trying to move pieces in place. And even like the moment, what's he called again? What's Tyrion's dad's name?
Not Big Lannister.
Tywin. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Tywin entered the scene, yeah. Whenever Tywin was there, man was talking pure strategies, talking about who they need to put underneath the banner, who needs to go underneath the sword. We need to get these people in our pockets. I've sent this person over there to secure this bit and that bit. We're going to try and like turn these people against Rob. We're going to try and turn that person against, Stannis. Like there was pieces moving.
Yeah. And you saw them with their bannermen as well.
Yeah.
We're not really seeing the rest of Westeros and the people. There's no unrest.
Yep.
The people that's in like what do you call it? The bottom, the people that's regular, they're just regular. But in Game of Thrones, there was like an energy. Do you know what I mean? Like war is coming, war is here. What are we gonna do? Do you know what I mean? This one might have dragons, there's whisperings, there's mutterings. Yeah, okay, cool, people are still living their lives, but it doesn't feel like there's a war. Bearing in mind, yeah, not too long ago, a whole big dragon did come through the floor and wipe out half of the citadel or whatever it's called. You don't feel like that. And how many thousands of people will be died in that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It feels normal. Like they don't really know. And we'll pledge allegiance. Nah, give us something more. Yeah.
Okay. So based off that, we're gonna say a 6.5 then for this episode.
We'll give it a 6.5. Yeah.
All right. We'll give it a 6.5. So with that being said, we will bring this review to a close. Guys, let us know your thoughts. If you watched the episode, what did you think of it? If you haven't, are you going to watch it? And where do you stand with the season as a whole? Like always, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Els, do you have any parting words for the people then?
Black all day. Black on black on blackity black.
That right. Everything looks good and black, and we voted for everybody black.
That's right. That's it. Right, true.
So guys, we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye.